In the north of Doha, the city of Lusail extends over 38 square kilometers, with 19 residential, mixed-use, entertainment and commercial districts, as well as amenities for tourism and hospitality. The city is a melting pot of diverse people and cultures. Lusail brings residential and business communities together and is a model city for Qatar's sustainable future. In 2005, the master plan for Lusail included the beating heart of Lusail city, downtown Lusail, which included three of the most distinguished areas, namely the Seif, Darb Lusail, and Al Saad Plaza, a highly respected and diverse area extending from the waterfront, which gives it a distinctive character and a different identity in the heart of the city. Due to the importance of this designation for the whole city, an activation plan was incepted in late 2018 to make Lusail ready for the World Cup 2022.
طبعاً القصة بدأت في 2018 بإعطاء الضوء الأخضر والمسؤولية لشركة الديار القطرية في بناء مشروع درب لوسيل وميدان السيد.
When I got a call from engineer Abdullah Al-Atiyah, CEO of Qatari Diyar, he said, Fahad, the government of the state of Qatar had entrusted Qatari Diyar to develop a number of projects.
تكون فريق عن طريق مجلس الإدارة برئاستي أنا، وهذا الفريق اجتمع مرة في الأسبوع لآخر 4 سنين، وكل هذا خلينا نقول تعدي التحديات وإن احنا نخلص المشروع بأكمل وجه حق مونديال قطر 2022.
He said, "Are you in?" I said, "Give me time to think." And then he said, "No, we don't have time to think. Either are you in, or we'll have to find some other plans." I said, "I'm in. Let me take those slides that you have, and then come back again with a plan."
طبعا الفكرة هي مو كمشروع، ليس فقط لكأس العالم 2022، الفكرة اللي ما بعد كأس العالم 2022. بالنسبة لمدينة لوسيل كمدينة، 2022 أو المونديال عبارة عن صافرة البداية وليس صافرة النهاية.
Honestly, the initial reaction of me seeing the pictures of these projects, I couldn't feel the depth of what is coming ahead. It was impossible for anyone to realize the magnitude of work that needs to be done to achieve all of this.
Our journey has been a truly amazing one. We have had a passion to develop a new place, a new destination for this city to celebrate the vision of Lusail.
When this was announced in 2018, all what we had at that point of time is just a mock-up, conceptual design, and to build such a scale of project from design all the way to construction before the World Cup, the initial reaction was that is mission impossible.
We resumed our design work in 2018 and developed a fantastic relationship with Qatari Diyar to deliver this project in time for the World Cup of 2022, a truly magnificent event.
يعني احنا كنا نروح حق بعض المستأجرين نقول لهم تعالوا أجروا في المحلات الموجودة عندنا، فكان الرد إن احنا شلون نأجر في صحراء، يعني احنا ما هاي المشروع مستحيل يخلص، مستحيل إنه يشوف النور. لكن اليوم ولله الحمد بعد هذا التحدي نلقى إنه بالعكس صار علينا إقبال كبير.
Even when I was approached for this position, a lot of people told me, it will not be achievable because of the tight schedule. It was really tight. So as far as we are concerned, the first challenge was to get someone on board to be able to do the job. We had to fast-track the tendering process, which is not easy because selecting someone and getting prices and doing evaluations and so on takes a lot of time.
Early 2018, none of this really existed. At that stage, very, very basic. We were scrambling to try and find how best to do it. We had a concept that was part of the broader Lusail master plan, which we engaged with consultants to develop that over the course of about 8 to 10 months through 2019 into a set of schematic designs for the boulevard. So from 2018 through to 2019, most of the focus was on how to take the idea, the concept of a boulevard, the magnificence of a broad expanse of 1.3 kilometre, 100 metre in width, and how to work that into a set of documents that people could then go ahead and build.
Lusail is one-of-a-kind project within the country. You cannot find such a project within the country and the region. We're talking about 18 plots, not one or two. It's like a numerous number of plots that has to be excavated, shoring system to make sure that the plot boundaries are being set and defined exactly for the main contractor to start his work in a definite area at that time. We knew that we need to hit the ground running.
So we drew the normal program. We put it on the whiteboard, and then we looked at what can we do to squeeze every activity.
On the boulevard, we were able to start with the excavation of the 18 buildings, the basements 1, basement 2, basement 3 of these buildings. They all have underground car parking. So whilst the design was being finalised and the main contractor was starting their engagement, we were able to complete all of the excavations for the basements. That then allowed the main contractor to start immediately with doing their piling, their sub-bases, all the way through on the base core and shell. So during that, we were able to save about 9 months worth of a traditional process.
And we managed to award what we called the early works package, which involved the foundations and the piling works and the raft foundations, so that we buy time and we don't start from scratch once we award the main contract. Then when we awarded the contract to the main contractor, we innovated or merged this under the main contractor. So the contractor didn't start from scratch.
There was very close coordination between all relevant Qatari DR departments. So the sales and leasing department, they were act as a focal point to handle the deal and to secure the tenants. However, we have been engaged with them earlier to make sure all those tenants meeting all our expectations.
Departments are usually working, everyone is trying to just do his part, but in these projects, I think it was more of, it's just one team, one goal, we have to go there and we have to do whatever it takes to just go.
Beginning of 2020, when we just started launching all these activities, something happened that made the world stop. Then we got hit with COVID. Suppliers and manufacturers around the world slowed down. There was a shortage of material, shortage of manpower, shortage of engineering skills.
These designers that we were working under the contractor had offices in Hong Kong, offices in India, offices in Philippines, in UK and in the US, and for weeks they couldn't even communicate with each other.
Most of the people were suffering around the world. There were closeouts and we had to manage how we are going to communicate with the contractors, whether we were going to close, we are going to continue, and the commercial impacts of that. So it was a very tough maybe 2 years.
Our engineering firms continued working. We did a lot of our meetings, our coordinations using online platforms, absolute minimum number of trips, if none at all, and then training of resources in-house and locally as well. So we managed to achieve the same target, which was difficult to begin with, but now with even greater difficulty.
This project took about 12,000 people at its peak, and they were from laborers to professionals. We tried as much as possible to locate them, to train them, to work with them, to see who are the ones that can be doing better, and promoted them to what they are now. And this was one of the major things that made the project successful during this difficult period of COVID.
Everything that could go wrong went wrong. And at the end of the day, we had to even meet with not just the contractor, the subcontractors. You have to be professional. It's nothing personal. It's a project. But for us, it was personal, actually. It was really personal because, this project took a lot of time away from our families, away from our kids.
If people look at the photographs of how the situation was in 2020, they will be astonished that we had 4 big holes in the ground, each 22 meters deep. It's a scary sight, and we had to climb up to surface and to start building.
In such a short time, if you combine these 4 towers, you've got 240 floors. And we've looked at what are the means, available means in the market, in the engineering side.
We had an issue in our planning and program that the concrete for the 70 towers will not be finished in time.
Then we decided we need to do activities simultaneously.
We decided that we're going to go with the design and build, because waiting until the design is completed fully and then tender this project was a no-go. We didn't want to approach because we'll never finish in time.
So we've done the piling, we've done the rafting, we've done the design, all at the same time.
When we started calculating the execution program, it was based on records in the market for concrete buildings, how many days it takes you to turn around between one floor to another. And we needed 12 days. And if you multiply 12 times 50, okay, you get 600 days. And we don't have that much.
Almost all of the construction buildings in Qatar are made from concrete, because concrete is widely available. It's a locally produced material. Hence, designers and contractors and developers always tend to go with concrete buildings. In our case, concrete has one disadvantage. It takes time to cure.
Another decision was to do these 2 towers, the 70-floor towers, with steel structure.
And the 50-floor buildings, 2 of them will be made from concrete. So we split our risk into 2.
It's a very scary decision because once you step in that direction, you can't go back. You can't say later on, oops, I made this mistake, let's go back. You have to live with that decision for the rest of the project, and it could make or break the project at the end of the day.
And we started the first floor, then we ran into a major technical issue.
وأنا في إجازة قصيرة جاني تلفون، وهذا التلفون كان ثقيل جدا علي، وكانت في سنة 2020. الاتصال يقول ان واجهة الابراج التصميم مالها غير صحيح. يعني كيف غير صحيح؟ احنا عندنا كاس عالم وكان البرج وصل للطابق ال20. طبعا هذا كان اقرب بالصاعقة علي، واتوقع اقرب بالصاعقة على كل الموجودين.
Each one of the aluminum panels is almost 2 tons, and we had 11 to 14,000. And when we started putting these panels together, because of the complexity of the structure, they were just not sitting well on top of each other, and we had a misalignment.
Every single panel is different. I don't think on a single project there is something like this. Every single panel is different. It's twisted and bent.
Because the design of our tower, it wasn't a typical floor. The design of the Foster & Partner, it is something called a moft. So if you look at the shape of the tower, it is morphed in such a shape that every single floor has a different size than the floor on top of it.
To reach the fluidity of such facade, we bring the tallest tower crane in the Middle East in order to install more than 6,800 panels per tower during a lapse of time of 24 months, which is a challenge in terms of timeline spent for this project, and mainly during COVID-19 spread.
Me working 2 years, 6 months, this tower area. Every day working tower inside and casting column and slab, and our team all requisition me follow safety. Unsafe, no working. Safe, first time safe, working area follow. After start working. 77 already casting finish. Lusail the Syria like coming big project, very happy working. No like how can possible working. No like go Bangla, our country.
And we have achieved substantial completion for the vertical facade for the small towers in July and the longer towers in September, which in my opinion, I think it's a miracle.
Nothing gives me more pride than producing something like the boulevard. From a marketing and from a leasing point of view, what we try to do is to enhance the product and try to engage the relevant parties who might have an incentive to onboard into the boulevard. At the beginning, it was quite challenging. As you can imagine, it's almost impossible to lease a product that's not visible or not complete.
As a result of this interest, the momentum of investment attraction increases for both the local market as well as the foreign market. Investing in all sectors of the real estate market provides added value to the region. Al Saad Plaza, Darb Lusail, and the Seif make up downtown Lusail as a whole district. Downtown Lusail is designated to be a new cultural hub in Qatar. It will create a new center of gravity for Doha, as it will be a local model to experience the modern Doha lifestyle.
This is not a shopping mall. This is not a one-point destination and you stay inside. This encourages an outdoor experience. You have a tram that is going up and down both sides. They are 18 separate buildings. They're not all combined. So you can go from one building to the other, and you have quite different themes. So some are more in terms of entertainment. Others are more in terms of retail or food and beverage. There's also functional buildings. There's a gallery. There is going to be healthcare facilities.
Some of the critical decisions that have been taken, adding the external cooling, in addition to adding screens to make the boulevard an attractive place.
We create from the beginning a task force team to make sure that we will have very balanced retail mix across the whole street. So we were very selective with the tenants that will be chosen to be existing within Lusail boulevard.
واختيارنا لهذا المكان بالذات لأن احنا نتكلم عن مشروع شارع البوليفارد يخدم شريحة كبيرة من المجتمع. مدينة لوسيل في السنوات الأخيرة صارت تستقطب العديد من الناس، فيها دوائر حكومية، فيها مؤسسات، فيها شركات كبيرة.
For us, the challenge was always to differentiate between a mall experience and we want to distinguish it from the street experience.
I doubt we'll see another project quite like this. This is unique, this is special, and I hope that over the coming years that the people of Qatar and everyone around the world comes to know and love it and enjoy it.
Well, actually, proud.
I actually feel it's like a dream come true. Honestly speaking, it was a great challenge, and I think the achievement is great. I am very happy to be part of this team and to be associated to these projects.
It's an incredible moment to live the transition between the virtual reality to the reality. And being a part of this success story is really amazing feeling.
It's always a difficult, challenging process, and we knew this would be even more so. But we welcome the challenge. If it wasn't challenging, if it didn't push us, if it didn't drive the best that we could be, it wouldn't be worth doing.
I've managed fast-track projects and very challenging construction times all along my career, but this one was a very tough one.
We will do it again. I think what will be different this time is the bar is high. The bar is very high and the expectations are higher. And the level of confidence that the public has put in Qatari Diyar now is far greater than ever before. They trust that we will deliver anything. And we still have a lot to do beyond 2022 World Cup. And I believe we will be able to achieve what we plan.
وكان شهادة على ذلك والصراحة تقنين على هذه الجهود كانت زيارة حضرة صاحب السمو الشيخ تميم بن حمد، واللي يعني لو أنا لأني أذكر من الزيارة كلمة واحدة، إنه قال مذهل.